You should be here, right here, baby. You should be here, right here. Don't know where you went, but you
It's your girl Key. Thank you for kicking with me and welcome back. This is a monthly reading for Sagittarius season for my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Quick announcement. My Black Friday sale went really well, was amazing. I am going to have an end of the year sale in the next week or so. I'm kind of cleaning out house because I got a lot of new products I'm bringing in for the new year. And also due to the fact of I'm finally won't probably be doing as much readings as next year. So just be open and look out for the changes I have coming. I will be holding more classes next year due to my other business adventure that I have started. I've been working on this business adventure for a while now, and your girl is finally coming to life. So be on the lookout for that. But let's get into y'all's reading. So what's going on with you fire signs for Sagittarius season? A lot of y'all probably might be withdrawn from people, or you just probably your emotions are coming up a lot for you. A lot of distorted feminine energy within you guys that's coming up, or you just have distorted feminine energy around you that is getting brought to the surface for you to face. Especially with Cancer, I feel, as your guys' overall energy, which is the moon. I do feel like some of you guys got hidden surprises coming for you also when it comes to things that you have manifested, like especially romantically. I get strong romantic. A lot of you are going to probably be in a relationship this Sagittarius season, or, have options. But I do feel like for a lot of you with the moon here, it's telling me a lot of you are probably depressed. It's going to be kind of probably depressed this Sagittarius season, probably going to be withdrawing from people and really focusing on other areas of your life. Or this can be like someone connected to you is going through this energy where they're depressed, withdrawing through their, withdrawing their energy, being very moody. I do get for fire signs, a lot of you are very moody. And I kind of picked this up earlier on my Twitter, is that fire signs are kind of going through with like a purging energy. So do not, be so hard on yourself. Show yourself grace and compassion during this time, especially when it comes to your emotions that are coming up that you guys have been suppressing or holding on. Because you guys will be learning through your relationships with the seventh house here, partnerships. A lot of you will be learning through your relationships, how you show up in relationships, how other people might need to show up in relationships, but you're also going to start seeing certain patterns and habits you have in relationships. Whatever you don't like in somebody else is what you don't like in you, or, the qualities you like in somebody else are the qualities that you need to like in yourself. And I do feel like with the Mars here, some of you might be at odds with people with the Mars here, especially with Gemini being in retrograde in Mars being retrograde in Gemini. A lot of y'all are very like defensive or coming off like aggressive. And it's due to the fact that it's like you feel like people are in competition, but I feel like this is like a lot of you, this is subconsciously your fears due to for instance, I'll use the example. Say you are not talking to somebody that you haven't talked, you used to talk to all the time, and they withdrew their energy. You look at it as, oh, they're betraying me and stuff, when really it's your inner fears coming up of not being comfortable of being alone or being okay within your own solitude. So I do feel like a lot of you are getting like a different perspective on how you show up in relationships, which is pushing you guys into this lesson of learning how your pride gets in the way when you start getting in your ego, and how you push people away, and then the regret, how you still hold on to, that guilt and that shame for making certain decisions that you didn't make in the past. So I do feel like right now, big chakras that need your focus is your heart chakra, your solar plexus, and your sacral, especially when it comes to your energy, paying attention and listening to your body. When your body tells you to rest. I feel like it's going to be big for you guys this Sagittarius season. But with the yin and yin in reverse, which is the divine feminine energy. A lot of you are really very much in your masculine energy where you're trying to protect yourself. And you're going to learn this Sagittarius season that by you being in this, your ego, trying to keep yourself safe or being so defensive, it's causing you to push people away. Especially with pride, it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone, which is kind of confirmation. What I was saying is that a lot of you are getting mirrored back how you act in certain relationships. Like, for example, if you don't like when people tell you they're gonna, they need some time and space, maybe you need to really reevaluate yourself. Do you do the same? And that's the reflection a lot of you fire placements are having to see at this time, is that you need to tap more into your emotions. You need to tap more in your softer side, your I get this mother wound a lot of you are needing to really, really heal and address. So I do feel like a lot of you are going to be healing wounds around women in your life, or just healing relationships with women, or seeing how your relationships with women are. You need to ask yourself, are you being kind? Are you being kind to yourself? Are you showing up for yourself? Are you being emotionally available? So right now for fire signs, I get a lot of emotions than anything for a lot of you. A lot of you are in this energy where you're having to face your emotions, and it's causing a lot of you to learn from your past with regret. I know that I can't change the past, especially when it comes to certain relationships that you had in the past that didn't go your way, or that were very sexual based, but you thought you could be something. Like I said, you guys are closing out a major cycle, especially the World card here. I also do feel like you guys are also aligning with certain partnerships that are going to help you in your career field. With the Mars here, this is also a new beginning with the Ace of Wands, and then the World card here. I do feel like a lot of you are going to, especially if you have strong Sagittarius placements. Sagittarius, are known for travel. So I do feel like a lot of you are like planting seeds to travel next year, to move. And I do feel like a lot of you probably have friends that are from a distance from you, where you and these people are probably going to try to meet up. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you're having to reflect on your past and see that, there's certain decisions and choices that you made in the past were for a reason. They might have been painful, they might have hurt, but look how far you have come. Look how they have made you. That's where a lot of you are having to step in and tap more into that divine feminine energy, so it doesn't have to be in reverse. Like I said, a lot of you are in this energy where you're having to feel and also learn how to be more vulnerable, with not just within relationships, with yourself, when it comes to your emotions, when it comes to speaking up on your needs or speaking up on how you feel. You know what I'm saying? If you miss somebody, tell them you miss them. It's like those little steps to help you guys. So let's see what Sagittarius season has for you guys. It's so funny. I always pre-shuffle these cards before I start the video, and then I shuffle them again while I'm doing the video. It don't make no sense. So let's see what's got the fire signs. Okay. Okay, so yeah, a lot of you guys are overcoming some mental blockages that you were facing in the past. And I feel like Sagittarius season, a lot of you are going to be finally able to let certain things go. You're going to gain a new perspective of like why certain things happen. And it's going to move you into calmer waters. So I feel like if you are withdrawing your energy from people, it's because a lot of you are having to really sit and reflect with yourself and acknowledge, certain mental patterns that you have. Like, how do you speak to yourself? How you still hold on to certain memories that still affect you emotionally. With victory and success, I see a lot of you overcoming that, and I see a lot of you being triumphant. I do feel like a lot of you, after you come out of this period, you're going to be speaking up for yourself. And I do feel like you're going to be speaking on your needs. You're going to be able to be more vulnerable. But I also do feel like for a lot of you, your solar plexus is going to be open. So a lot of you are going to have more confidence in what you're feeling and expressing those, those needs, going after those things that you desire for yourself. Because a lot of you are also coming into union with self, with spiritual union. So I do feel like this month in Sagittarius season is here for you guys to really purge emotionally, acknowledge your emotions, so you guys can balance out your divine masculine, divine feminine energy. Because I do feel like a lot of you are heavily in your masculine energy, and I do feel like a lot of you are in your masculine energy due to the fact, like, you might be like, I keep hearing putting on a front like everything's okay, but really you're hurting inside. So this is why Spirit is putting you guys in this energy to really acknowledge your feelings, because a lot of you are starting to see being so much in that go mode, with that masculine energy where you have to be the provider, you have to show up, you have to make shit happen. It has caused you to cause you detriment emotionally and mentally on yourself. And that's why Spirit's saying it's time to nurture you. And it's okay to withdraw your energy. But I do feel like a lot of you are learning how to keep your cup full without over giving yourself to others. Right here is what I'm getting. And I also do get that's helping you guys move on from things that are no longer serving you. That could be people, emotions, but for a lot of you, I feel like this is emotions and mental blockages. You're moving on from things that have been keeping you stuck in certain cycles. And also, some of you also might be mending a relationship with somebody that you have a spiritual connection with, where a lot of you are starting to realize this person, you might be seeing 666, is what I'm also hearing. A lot of you are probably going to be mending a relationship with somebody that you guys are going to be able to communicate and move on from things from the past, especially with material harvest here. So I do feel like a lot of you if you already left somebody in the past, I do feel like you're starting to receive your material harvest. You're starting to see this is the 9 of Pentacles to me. A lot of you are very independent, got your stability going. You're really focused on your money. That's why a lot of you probably are in your masculine energy. You're really focused on your stability. You're focusing on finding ways to provide for you, going after things that you truly desire. Because I feel like a lot of you started to recognize that somebody was probably holding you back. But others of you, I do feel like you and your person had to be separate for both of you guys to work on your stability separately, and being secure and stable within yourself, and having that confidence within yourself. So when you guys come together, you guys are able to move on from the things from the past, from things that were hurting you, or from the things that were keeping you guys stuck and stagnant. It's like I get this energy of renewal hope at the end of this. Okay, what else is going on for my fire sign, Sagittarius season? And it's so funny I said renew hope. Look at the hope card come out. You guys are in the energy of healing this month, and that's beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you have to separate yourself or go in isolation to really just acknowledge gain self-awareness, take time to really get to know, this you that's coming in. And I do feel like a lot of you are in this energy of healing with the Star card, with the hope here. A lot of you are really acknowledging how, how sometimes your ego or your pride can get in the way. And I do feel like this is a lot of you are kind of be going through kind of like an ego death mentally, and seeing how you made certain decisions out of survival mode, or how you made certain decisions because, things weren't going your way, out of control. And so I do feel like a lot of you are acknowledging those wounds right now and seeing where they come from, which is putting you in this energy of healing. And as you put in this energy of healing, it's making you trust your intuition more. It's making you, receive more downloads, because I do feel like a lot of you, your crown chakra was probably blocked. Where your head was probably itchy, you probably having a lot of head pressure, you were feeling a lot of negative energy. And I feel like the reason why a lot of you were feeling a lot of negative energy, and it wasn't just because people were sending to you, I do feel like it's because the way you talk to yourself, or, not believing in the things that you're trying to make happen for yourself. I get this feeling, any wrong move that was like anything that like set you back, or anything that wasn't moving the way you planned or envisioned, it made you question yourself, it made you feel depleted. But Spirit is putting you guys in this energy where you're having to trust your intuition more. So I do feel like this is why a lot of you are isolating, because a lot of you probably had a lot of people's energy on you. Like I said, with the partnership, a lot of you are getting reflected things about yourself when it comes to strong solar plexus here. So I do get a lot of you are still purging solar plex wise, where you gave a lot of your power, a lot of your energy away to people. A lot of you are in this energy where like your body was probably fatigued. You probably don't be surprised also in Sagittarius season, fire signs, if you randomly get sick. Like I said, Neptune just went direct in Pisces. So a lot of people are randomly getting sick, thinking they're COVID or have the flu. But I also do feel like this is ascension symptoms for a lot of you. A lot of you are ascending in Sagittarius season. So don't be surprised if you have like a runny nose, you're randomly coughing, your throat chakra trying to open up. But I also do feel like a lot of you are clearing out mental blockages. But a lot of you are sensing that somebody is coming back. Somebody is coming back to talk to you, or that you're sensing that you're going to be meeting your soul family is what I keep getting. And a lot of you are pay attention to your dreams. Your dreams are very important at this time. It's exposing a lot of things, but it's also telling you what's to come for you. So I do feel like a lot of things that a lot of you manifested in the past, or things that you wanted for yourself, were probably being delayed, but they're coming to you now, because I do feel like a lot of you are starting to realize you have to get out your own way. What else? One more. Yes, a lot of you had to get out. Didn't I say a lot of you had your crown chakra blockage, and now a lot of you are in this energy of healing and gaining self-awareness, or just awareness about your habits and patterns and things that you truly desire for yourself, really acknowledging your emotions, that solar plex energy. Our solar plex is our life force. Our solar plex is where we really manifest from. Our solar plex is where we have the energy to go after things we want, but we have to be honest with ourselves when it comes to our emotions and our true desires and how we feel. And I feel like a lot of you are just really in this go-go mode when it comes to building a solid foundation with foundation and achievement. So I do feel like a lot of you are going to start seeing the reaps of your rewards around your home life when it comes to your family or when it comes to your friends. I do feel like a lot of you are in this energy where your abundance is not just physical aspects. A lot of you are stepping in this energy where you're getting abundance of like peace, happiness, joy, but you're realizing that peace and happiness, joy starts within you. And I feel like that's why a lot of you probably are withdrawing your energy or just really staying to yourself, because that happiness, you're realizing has to start within so you can share with other people. So a lot of you could be seeing, or you could have been seeing rainbows in the past, or you're going to start seeing rainbows, but you could be seeing 117, you could be seeing 6s. 2s are very important. You have 222 here. That's balance and harmony. But I also do get this energy where a lot of you are in this energy where you're having to save your money. Be careful when it comes to your spending habits. 666 is all about your thought patterns, how you speak to yourself, which clarifies that mental blockages I was saying. A lot of you are very pessimistic when certain things don't go your way, or when you lack control, you start to think negatively, or you feel like, oh, it's gonna repeat again. Oh, this person's acting like this person who I used to be friends with, and it's like, or this person I was trying to give a chance to is acting like this other person. But it's like these are mostly your fears. 555 when I said that. 1555. When I said that. So I do feel like a lot of you are having to really face your self-sabotaging habits and your fears when it comes to relationships that you have. Because I do get this energy, a lot of fire placements say they want genuine friendships, but when one thing doesn't go their way, they exit out. And I can say this, sometimes I'm like this. I'm a Sagittarius moon. Like, if you are not meeting the standards, or if you're acting funny to me, I take it as a sign. It's like, oh, okay, you're doing something shitty, instead of looking like, oh, you know what? They got some shit going on in their life. Because I used to be that friend where everybody used to be mad at me, where I would disappear or I wouldn't reach out to them, and they always think something bad's happening or I'm doing something, when really I was just getting my life together. Life is life, man. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are having to really recognize and be honest and communicate, learning how to communicate that with people and being vulnerable. Like, hey, like, I really cherish you, but at the same time, I'm going through it and I just need space, or stuff like that. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are having to reflect. And I feel like this stems from a mother wound that a lot of you have. This mommy wound is getting pushed for you to get a bigger acknowledgement to her and gain a more awareness and insight of how this your relationship with your mother, or this mother wound you had, has affected you to learn how to express your emotions or your needs. I can say this, my mom is a Sagittarius sun, and my mom works a lot. And one thing I can say, my mom's not very affectionate. But when my mom's going through things, she suppresses a lot of that. And I have that habit. When I go through things, people won't know I'm going through it, but they could tell by my mood that there's something wrong with me, because I'm more irritated, I'm more irritable, I'm short with them. And I feel like that's where a lot of you are having to gain those awareness of your patterns when you are in those moods. Because like right now, a lot of you are needing to rest and rejuvenate. A lot of you are needing to reflect. A lot of you are needing to sit with yourself and really call your energy back and learn how to stand your ground also, when it comes to setting boundaries with people. Not even just setting boundaries with people, setting boundaries with yourself, learning to stay disciplined when it comes to certain goals that you have for yourself, not giving up just because, things are not going your way. Because there is a new beginning that's happening. But part of this new beginning is a lot of you are having to stand in your power. And a lot of you are also having to stand, set some boundaries with, some people you have around you, or set some boundaries with somebody that's trying to come, your relationships that are trying to come back that they're no longer serving you. And it's funny, I said pay attention to your dreams. So a lot of you are having vivid dreams about what's to come and what's happening next at this time. So I do feel like right now, a lot of you are just moving on from things that no longer serve you when it comes to how you were building your foundation, how you viewed your foundation, and how you viewed yourself when it comes to certain relations or how you showed up for your relationships. Spirit is teaching a lot of you that you can't change the past, but you can change your present, which means, fix your habits, fix the way you show up in relationships, but also learning that letting your pride get in the way is causing your relationships to be shaky. So I feel like a lot of you are having to acknowledge your side of the fence, is what I keep hearing. Yeah, a lot of you, your root chakra is probably, unbalanced. So a lot of you need to stay grounded with a firm foundation. And I feel like the firm foundation a lot of you really need to recognize is within you. If you feel unsafe and not secure in your relationship, it's probably because there's something within you that makes you feel unsafe and secure within yourself. Are you giving yourself that safety and security, that reassurance? Are you really focusing on the things that you need to focus on, is what I keep hearing for a lot of you. Deception and envy. You guys are really deceiving yourself from the things that you really want for yourself. But also, a lot of you are deceiving yourself from being in this divine feminine energy where you're learning how to be receptive. And it's because a lot of you question, like, is it coming for me? Spirit played with me one too many times, or, it doesn't show up unless I put in all this work. A lot of you are deceiving yourself from receiving because you are, like I said, you're being skeptical of the past. But I also do feel like with deception and envy, a lot of you have some like mother figure or some women around you that don't have good intentions towards you, or they just don't like that, things are going well for you. So be cautious around that. But I really feel like a lot of you, this is your own energy. You're deceiving yourself from being in this divine feminine energy because you have a lot of mental blockages. You're very indecisive about, like, is what you've been praying for, what you've been working towards, really coming towards you with the material and spiritual prosperity. A lot of you are second guessing, like, the work I put in, is it coming? But you're having to really face your shadow side. The moon card, you have 2 moon cards. Yeah, this is all about shadow work for a lot of you fire signs this Sagittarius season. A lot of you are really having to be honest with yourself and the habits that you have. And how, when you get in this fearful place, you get into questioning certain decisions or choices you're making for yourself, and it's the lack of stability and security that you feel within yourself is what I'm getting. So I hope that resonated. Like I said, this is the month to do some shadow work for a lot of you fire signs, especially when it comes to around family. A lot of you, especially healing relationship with your mother, a lot of you don't have to I always say this, you don't have to forgive somebody to move on. Forgiving is for yourself. If you feel like you can't forgive somebody and that's the closure you need, like, hey, bitch, you did what you did, cool, move. But I do feel like for a lot of you are in this energy where you're having to forgive yourself for not knowing how to show up for yourself. Because I feel like a lot of you are in this energy where you're having to teach yourself to show up for yourself and be vulnerable and be more into your emotions. So let's see what advice you guys got from your guides. Oh. Okay. It says, it's time for you to let people know that it's a privilege to have you in their life. And I feel like this stems from romantic relationships. I feel like a lot of you probably were in relationships where, people didn't appreciate you or what you were giving to them. So I feel like right now, a lot of you that stand that ground, also a lot of you are having to set boundaries with those, those people that played with you or played in your face. So I feel like Spirit's saying, know your worth and stay confident in the choices and decisions you made on walking away. And it's funny because I posted this video on my Instagram where it's like, stop shaming yourself and guilting yourself for choices and decisions that you're making for the betterment of you. People knew what they were doing at the time that you were trying to make it work, or at the time you were trying to pour into them. And if they weren't reciprocating that, and because they knew what the problem was, they just didn't want to change for it. So stop telling people why you're doing things. Stop trying to justify why you're doing things. And it's something I had to learn, the last couple of months, is like certain decisions and choices I was making for myself. I was feeling shame and guilty because I've never fully done it before. But this year really taught me, like, it's okay to choose me because motherfuckers weren't choosing me either. So who gonna choose me besides me? So I feel like that's what a lot of you fire signs are really needing to understand. And then you have eliminate everything that gives you conflicted feelings. It's time to embrace the things that resonate with your soul. So a lot of you are being told to really open your heart chakra and go towards the people or the things that are calling you, that are going to give you fulfillment. And I do feel like a lot of you, this is where you're having this energy of facing your shadow is going to push you into that energy of going towards the people and going towards the thing that are here to elevate you and make you better. And then you have, we hear you, we have always heard you, just know we are working behind the scenes to make it work. So a lot of you probably, like I said, we're in this energy where you question spirit or you question things. Or are they coming for you? Are things going to get better? Your guys heard your prayers. They hear you. It's just, it's not happening on your ego's timing. It's happening on the timing that it needs to happen, where you guys need to be aligned with the divine. So I feel like a lot of you are just in this energy where you're just needing to release that resentment, release that guilt, release that shame you have on certain decisions and choices you made, or, you know, people you had in your life. A lot of you still hold a lot of regret, not even a lot of regret. I really feel a lot of anger more than anything towards yourself and others for, you know, doing you how they did you. But I do feel like this is the reason why it's coming up is so you don't carry it into 2023 is what I keep hearing for a lot of you. What else, the fire certain spirit? How can we help? We are ready to assist. Just be clear about what you really need at this time. So I feel like a lot of you have been tiptoeing, going back and forth. But like 1 minute I want this, 1 minute I don't want this because it's not turning out how I want it. Spirit is saying you need to be clear, decisive, and stick to it. Just because it's not coming in how you want it doesn't mean it's not coming in. Your guys really want to help you guys, but you have to be willing to ask. I've learned this. If you say, oh, you want the divine and God to step in, they can't step in unless you invoke them or you ask them for your help and you be specific about it. One thing I learned with my own people, I got to be specific. If I know for sure somebody's sending me some nasty energy, I got to put their first and last name down. Okay? If I know if I really want something for myself, I need a certain type of money for a certain type of holiday or for something. I put that exact type of money down. Like, hey, I need $5,000 for this motherfucking trip I'm trying to go on next year. Okay, be specific with things that you really need, and I feel like that's what's going to help a lot of you. Pay attention to the signs, like say, be specific with a sign, like you want to tell your guys, like, hey, I need a specific sign that money's coming in sooner to me. I better see 111, something, you know what I mean? Be specific with the signs. And then you also have your heart chakra needs healing and clearing. What pain still sits within it? And that's confirmation when it comes to, I feel it's time for a lot of y'all to really acknowledge your emotions and your feelings at this time and release it before going to 2023. Or make steps into that energy. But let's pull up some self-care messages. We're going to close this out. Can I get a self-care message? My fire. Sagittarius season. Okay. Oh, you guys got one too many. I just need one or two, Spirit. All right. Okay. So you have space. The quality of your life has more to do with what you remove from your life than what you add to it. Give yourself the gift of space. So I do feel like right now a lot of you are in this energy where you're needing to clean house. Give away old things so you can make room for new things coming in. Clean your space, reorganize. I do feel like a lot of you are needing to reorganize your space, especially if you're in a room a lot or in an area a lot. Rearrange it so you can invite new energy. But I do feel like a lot of you at this time are just needing space from a lot of people around you, and that's okay. That's fine. But you have to be able to learn how to be vulnerable and communicate that, because a lot of you don't like when other people do it to you. So you're being, like I said, the reflection that you don't like is being reflected back to you. You have optimism. If you're going to make up stories in your head about people and circumstances, please make them love stories with happy endings. So a lot of you are in this energy, like I said, that pessimistic mindset that a lot of you had has been getting the best of you. A lot of you are always talking negative, or a lot of you start making up fear-based stories in your head because things aren't going the way you like them. But Spirit is saying it's time to rewrite those stories in your head and rewrite the narratives that you have, because a lot of you, that's what's causing a lot of you to delays and blockages, because a lot of you, like I said, lack this sense of when you can't control things, it's not going to happen. So you have to start changing that mindset, start thinking positive to yourself, and write down some like positive affirmation. Like today is going to be, like one thing I say to myself every day is like, especially if I had a rough day the last day, today's a new day. It's going to be a better day. You know, we got new 24 hours. How am I, you know, good things are going to happen to me. And once I keep saying those things to myself, that's when good things really start happening to me. And that's when things start shifting for me. And I feel like that's what a lot of you need to realize. And then you guys got beauty. And it's kind of confirmation. A lot of you are really needing to really cater to your own beauty and love on yourself. Today, you are a creator of beauty. You are blessed with moments that let you know beyond a shadow of doubt that all the world is well. So I do feel like right now, you guys are in this energy where you're creating your happiness. You're learning to create your happiness. You're learning to be okay with being alone, with sitting with your emotions and acknowledging how you feel. Like I said, that awareness right now. So Spirit is letting you know everything. If you've been asking for a sign like things gonna get better, or it's like or am I gonna have the life I want, Spirit's saying you are, but just remember to take care of yourself. Remember to treat yourself the way you would like others to treat you. If you feel like you need a break, take a break. I feel like a lot of you are needing this energy where you're wanting to travel, go to somewhere warm, and Spirit's saying make that happen. Start planning for it, or take that road trip and go do it. So this is what I got for you, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. I hope you guys liked it. Have a good one. Bye.